Jeffrey, you were a little late to our scheduled recording tonight.
Tonight. It's the middle of the day here in California with the daylight savings. It totally threw me off. It's like, it's like still tanning time, to get some sun. I was a little distracted when I got your text, and it's like 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock.
That's right.
Can't be 5 o'clock.
Yeah, need shades on at 5 o'clock out there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I'm glad you made it. I've got something that's kind of bugging me.
Ooh.
I know it's been bothering me for just about my entire teaching career, and
I'm here for you, Brenny.
Okay,
I'm
man.
here for you.
So I made a note a few weeks ago, wrote something down again, listened to a podcast, and what I wrote down is might be a little confusing, so I'm gonna rephrase it at the end, but it's what's the number one thing that you could actually change, and this is just how this interviewer was talking about it. What's the number one thing that you can actually change? And once you nail that, then what habit system can you create to make that change? So that got me thinking about not so much myself as a player, but it got me thinking more about my students over the course of my career. And I would say the most frustrating thing I've had is not someone who's not getting something on the court. It's actually the person who gets something.
Right.
And they walk out the door, and I've already just said, hey, well, look, I know you get it. I know you got it. And look, and before they get out the door, I can't even say to them, look, I think to really nail this thing, to keep it, to have it, to own it, you're going to have to do a little bit of work. It wasn't like, a little 30-minute private and boom, you got it. So,
right.
So what's frustrated me the most in my teaching career is I think the inability to know how to unlock someone's, even if it's just curiosity, to want to go out there and put in the work, even if they've had the big epiphany moment, even if they've started pushing on the flywheel a little bit. How do you help them kind of realize that we've just begun?
Right.
Isn't that an old Karen Carpenter song? Isn't that an old,
yeah, that's right.
We've only just begun. So I think
Yeah.
that to me is something that's always frustrated me, and I've never really. Actually, once I'm in the Cal Club in San Francisco, I was thinking, all right, I'm going to totally change my entire teaching, not my method, not system how I was teaching, but I was going to say, okay, guys, here's what we're doing. And we would have a group of people, and we had 4 teaching courts, and I was going to say, okay, you're going to come to me for 15 minutes, and we're going to work on one thing. And then you're going to move up to the next court, and the guy in the next court is going to work on another 10 minutes and a drill to help kind of hammer home this thing. And then after that, you're moving over to the next court. There's a little play drill over there. Just trying to get them into the thinking, the mindset that there's the lesson court, there's kind of, maybe the drill court with a pro. Now there's an actual playing drill, and then there's another court where you actually go out and you play a little bit, and then you come back around to me.
Here we go again.
There we go again. And so
on the same thing.
On the exact same thing. Let's see where we're at after 30 minutes. Come back around through the assembly line, and let's see where you are. Oh, well, no, we have a little flaw over here. We have the quality inspector with the white hat and the gown over there. They go, this one's no good. Let's put it back. Or we're not going to totally throw it away, but let's kind of book it, see if we can reassemble it. So, how do you coach? How do you inspire your people, your students, that when they walk out of the gate, that within 3 steps they haven't totally lost it, that they're actually going, I cannot wait. They're actually starting to make notes and they're putting it on their calendar. How do you fire them up to get into this, a system of being able to create at least a practice habit? Help me out. Because I'm about to jump out of the 11th floor here in Houston, Texas. So
That's right.
luckily you can't open the windows here.
Yeah. I'm not sure 11 floors is high enough, Brett. You might
Yeah, I might need to. Yeah,
If
right.
you're going to make that move, you want
Yeah,
to make sure you get it
that's
done.
right. 11 floors. You're right. I'm pretty light on my feet, so
Um, I mean, it's a great. I love the. I just love the whole idea and the question because it is a it is an issue that I don't think any teaching pro has not had to deal with, and it doesn't matter young, old, been in the veteran, whatever. Um, can you? It's like the person's leaving the court, and you can almost see it vaporing off. It's you can see
right.
it leaving as they're headed because somebody from another court just like,
Hey,
Bob, are
Mark.
you ready? Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Can you, blah, blah, let's get over here and play our doubles. And it's like right then it's all gone.
Yeah,
It's
right.
never coming back.
That's right. Right.
So there's that distraction, of that on that side of it. I think, you asked about motivation. I think motivating, motivating people is, I don't think is the challenge. I think motivating, people come to you, your regulars, come to you because you first had a first lesson and you clicked, you had a good rapport, they like your style, whatever it is. And then they're motivated to come back because they like your style, they like your methodology, they think I can take them someplace, right? I think what's hard, motivation, I think on the scale is actually easy. What's hard is the discipline once motivation wears off and the discipline to go do the work. So I think that's where, the student, I can't be responsible for everything. I'm responsible for making sure that I'm knowledgeable and up to date and current and all those things in a whole host of different areas, especially when you start, if you're teaching juniors, you need to know what the current safe methodologies are. We're swinging the racket so much faster in different swing paths and all this stuff. And juniors you need to be wary of not injuring a body that's just developing still, right? So you've got knowledge that you need to be able to know, right? On the one side. On the other end of the scale, coaching seniors, we have the same issue. We've got restrictive movements, we've got impingements and rotation, and all these things, and health and quality, all these things that need to be addressed, and you need to be aware of them. Am I asking this guy to do something that he can't actually do anymore? He could do it when he was 25. He can't do it now when he's 70. So what I'm getting at is that I'm responsible for a whole host of things. The student, though, has a responsibility, too, and that's to prep their mind, prep their body, prep their attitude, and to be ready to come and receive a lesson. And then when they leave that lesson, has the pro, the coach, given them homework? And if the answer is yes, and they've said, I'm going to go do that, and then not go do it, that's where I think the big failure comes in, or failure, I don't know what you want to call it, but I also think the challenge with the student is pride and ego, that not wanting to actually accept the fact that it's going to take 6 months of work of not mindless, but mind-numbing repetition in a whole host of different variety of drills, explicit and implicit, and exercises that mimic certain moves in the gym. I mean, laying out this whole thing, and I've done it and you've done it, for our students. And some grab onto it and ride that horse till it bucks them off, and they end up 6 months later, they actually end up someplace that's beautiful. They've actually done the work. And once they've gone through that kind of rite of passage, they're more motivated to keep working on things because they understand the process now and they see the result and they can get there. But I still think that there's this underlying thing, especially in the club atmosphere, where they're playing tennis for leisure time activity, or it's supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be a positive enhancement to their life, and the whole host of other reasons that why they're doing what they're doing. But when they come to us, part of our job is to flesh out, why are you here? right? And if they lay out this like really beautiful, I really want to get better, I really want to do this, I like to explain to them, you understand what you're asking for, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, I will take the time to sit down and have the half-hour conversation before we ever hit a ball, and just say, do you know what you're asking for right now? And it becomes a face-to-face, eyeball-to-eyeball conversation. And sometimes they will go, gosh, you know what? I never really thought about that. Okay, Jeff, what can we do? Because here's my schedule. Here's the reality of what my life is like right now. Here's my schedule. And I would rather have that person. I mean, the guy that wants to do the work and does the work, he's great. I like this guy too because he's honest about what his time frames are and that what he can actually get done. But there's the majority, though, is everybody in between. They're not honest about the time they can spend. They're not honest about admitting how much work it's going to take. They think a tip will cure what they have. And, you know, I don't know. There you go. There's my rant.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Well, it's no, I think the thing you said there is that if you're going to go out and you're going to get coached or you're going to take some lessons from a teaching pro, is that if the teaching pro is not willing to do what you just said, is to have that initial conversation,
Right.
which is, what is it you really want to accomplish here? And from the get-go, make sure that both of you are on the same page. And that, you know, I like to tell, you know, guys who come and say, hey, look, you know, I want to get better at this or I want to get better at that. And I said, you know, I just kind of say, well, are you really willing
Right.
to put up? I mean, and I look at him and you know, like if this guy
roll up the sleeves.
Well, I want to say, you know, I mean, like, for example, you know, let's say you have an attorney that comes to you to say, I really want to become a 4-5. And I first question is, that's great. That's cool. I can definitely help you, but are you willing to do what you have to do to become a 4-5? And they go, oh, yeah. And I said, hey, how long did it take to become a lawyer? And they think, I'm not saying that, I'm not picking on lawyers, and I'm not picking on guys who just think that tennis is, you know, the easiest thing since, you know, sliced bread. But still, I think a lot of players out there think, just like you said, that there is some quick fix, there is a tip, there is a way to shortcut. There's some kind of a Cliff Notes version of going to Hastings Law School and somehow getting this 4-5 thing. And so, but once someone says, no, man, I'm willing to do the work. I know it's tough. It's going to be tough. And I can sort of see where I'm at. And, you know, I try to describe what it's like to play at the 4-5 level. I kind of say, you know, it's not a lot different than what you're doing now.
Right.
Except these guys don't miss very often. Ball speeds are a little bit higher. They're not like...
A little bit higher.
They're not hugely higher, but it's different. It's different. And if you're...
Everybody misses less.
Yes. And most guys
So
move a little better.
Right.
So if you're willing to do the work, then let's go. And I try to, I think, you know, I've done that before where I sort of laid out, here's the amount of work you need. And I said, so, you know, how much have you got? Well, look, I mean, you're in the courtroom 3 days a week and, you know, you're doing this and you do have a young family with 3 kids, all under 7 years old.
Right.
You know,
I mean, here's the nugget. Here's my best swing of the bat. If you're a 4-0 player right now and your desire is to become a 4-5, I think the quickest route, if you're going to hack the system, the only hack in the system is pick out the 3 things that you do best and pay attention to those. Spend your time on those things that you already do fairly well and do them better. Don't add anything. You will, as those 3 things get better, you will naturally do better at some of the other things. Will also elevate with you. But if I would say that is the only way to hack the system, is to reduce your options, reduce your menu, and look at the 3 things that you do well, and pay attention to those and spend your time working on those things and make those things better.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, we got to go. I hear
there you
someone
go.
knocking.
You know.
That's good. That's good. Well, listen. I guess I haven't jumped out the 11th floor yet, so that's good.
I haven't made you that crazy yet, right?
No, that was good. All right, listen, guys, thanks for hanging out with us today. And we are still offering a 10-minute free coaching call. It's a live private call, just the 3 of us on the phone. You get to cherry pick the date and the time when you want to do it. It's a short time frame, 10 minutes. So what Jeff and I are asking you, bring the one thing in your game. Jeff just said, you got 3 things that you're good at. Well, what's the one thing that maybe you just haven't quite yet figured out, that if you did figure it out, maybe instantly you'd go to 5-0. I don't know. So anyway, free coaching call with us. Sorry, man. The way to get in the call, if you're not on our email list, go over to goldballhunting.com. First name, email address. Drop in your first name and email, and we'll and you'll get automatically sent over to our online scheduling calendar. And if you are already on our email list, thank you so much. Just check at the bottom of any email we send you, and there'll be a link that'll take you to that scheduler. So, Jeff, this is the time when we actually get, as you said last time, we get a little selfish, and we like to ask the people to actually show us a little love, a little reciprocation, if you will.
Yeah, what the heck? Like us.
Yes.
Share us. Subscribe.
Leave a
and
comment.
let us know what you think. And you know what? On this one, I'd like to hear what people think.
Yeah, good.
I think this is like a really interesting discussion.
Good.
Good. So anyway.
That's cool. Well, guys, listen, thanks for hanging out with us. Get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. And Jeff will do this again tomorrow.
Cool. Can't wait.